On the other end, Michigan's taken only 3. That's off of Pinkman.
Michigan has had a difficult time on inbounds plays. They've had 2 turnovers today. See if they can get a good, quick shot out of an inbounds play. They've really struggled.
Gary Grant has come back into the ball game. He and Joe Bear in the guard spots. Thompson also in there. They're in effect to have 3 guards in the game. Tarpley has been quiet in the second half. Gonna have a foul.
Oh, they're getting a break. They said the foul committed before he got in the...
Up. He played a strong second half. He ends up with 12 points.
The frustration of Antoine Jobert. He actually had a pretty good second shot opportunity. Thought he released it a little too quickly, respecting Villanova's shot blocking ability, and then came over the back to commit the personal foul. Eddie Pinckney at the free throw line, 73% free throw shooter on the season.
Look at the difference at the free throw line.
Yeah, that's what we talked about at halftime, the importance of being able to get to that free throw line. In a low-scoring game, free throws become of the paramount importance.
6 of 6 from the free throw line. That leaves the door open.
They got to come down and get a quick shot in transition. There's not enough time to mess with the ball.
Charlie Thompson, and he's fouled by Gary McLean.
And that's the foul you do not want to commit. You stop the clock and you put him on the free throw line. Right now, there's 2 things that you've got going for you. You've got a 5-point lead and you've got the clock running. You don't want to do anything different.
Losing 5 of their games to the team that's ranked either first or second in the country, and there's a backcourt foul against Relford. That'll be game, and Notre Dame, in effect, lost that game at the free throw line against North Carolina when they could not convert their free throws. And the free throws are tough enough, which get the tournament time, it gets more difficult.
Oh man, I tell you, this is pressure right here.
I think they delivered.
That's a sign of an All-American, being able to step to the free throw line and knock them in when you need them. There's a lot of guys who can make them when they don't need anything. Right now, his career is on the line. He knows if he loses, his season is over.
He is 8 of 9 from the line today. 5-point lead. McLean, and then it goes off for Relford. Dwayne McLean with another fine defensive effort. Now Michigan in a deep hole with 1:31 to go. McLean, the best free throw shooter. They don't want him to be fouled. And there's a steal attempt by Grant.
The only thing but get better and better and better. All these players coming back with a year experience. On the other hand, Villanova, a veteran ball club, the 2 McLeans and Pinckney, all seniors. They've been this road before, and they've been sitting where Michigan is, and they know that feeling, and they don't want to have it again today.
That free throw ties the biggest lead of the game of 6. 19 points for Dwayne McLean. 51-45. There's a man who's been at Villanova 56 years.
What a great man. Jake Nevins, I tell you, he's just such an inspiration.
And he's got to be excited. Thompson quickly hits at the other end. 52-47, 1:12. McLean, they've got to get the foul. And McLean will go to the line. Well, and Michigan made a very good rush at the start of the second half. Then Villanova overhauled them, and right now with a 52-47 lead.
I thought the key stretch for Villanova, when they got down by 5, Harold Presley made 2 excellent offensive plays and scored, and he made a key defensive play, and he gave them a
McLean an 84% free throw shooter. He walked away before the ball even got there. He knew that was going in.
Well, he's a cocky young kid, and he's confident, and right now he's having fun.
They call him the honcho. He's the guy who directs everything, the catalyst, the vocal leader. He can back up what he says. Tarpley with the rebound. 11 rebounds for Roy Tarpley. Gary Grant. Presley just ripped it away from Rockymore, and Grant has committed the personal foul, and he's fouled out. Canton, Ohio, returning to his home state, 200 miles away from here. Just didn't happen.
Villanova still only 4 fouls in the game. They've got 2 more to waste before Michigan shoots free throws. They are definitely in the driver's seat.
Pinkney has just really produced at the free throw line. 55-47, and quickly Michigan hits, and they call it a senses of victory. They're starting to celebrate here with 44 seconds to go. In their first Big Ten championship since 1977. That's when Johnny was there.
Well, I tell you right now, Gary, you look at the NCAA Tournament field, and the Big East is doing very well. You've got Boston College won a big ball game against Texas Tech. It looks like Villanova's going to win this game. You have Syracuse beating DePaul and Georgetown. So 4 teams in the Big East still in the running and all playing very well.
We have a lot of basketball yet today on CBS as we continue our coverage of the NCAA for the Villanova Wildcats. Starting to celebrate early here.
Gary, they've got St. John's out in the West, too. I almost forgot about St. John's. They've got 5 Big East teams in here. All of them playing very well. Matthews get it in.
And Jensen's going to call a timeout. He couldn't get the ball in. He didn't get it in, though. They had gone past the count on the 5 seconds.
All you have to do, if you get to the 4-second count, 80% of the time is used up. You cannot get a timeout. It's a possible change of possession, and Villanova wants time.
Well, you figure it doesn't matter with 5 seconds, but it's a lesson for Jensen to remember. Their seniors have been in the tournament 4 straight years. Michigan had not been here since 1977.
I think that experience showed when they got down 5 and made 3 key plays in a row to run off 6 points to retake the lead, and also experience pays off in the free throw shooting down the stretch.
Villanova able to hit 25 free throws to only 3 for Michigan. Is that a startling statistic?
Hardly. That just sort of typifies the game right there.
That'll end it. A big upset in Dayton, Ohio. The Big East showing the strength that they've had this year in their conference, upsetting the Big Ten champions, Michigan. The final 59-55. Let's go to Brett Musburger in New York.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome as we continue along the road to Lexington here on CBS. The Pacific Network now join us, and of course the rest of you who just watched Villanova upset highly touted Michigan. And
back to that man-to-man defense. Look at Pinkney want the ball. Jumper by Ed Pinkney. He buries it. It's 41-32 Villanova. Pinkney in one-on-one is pretty tough man, particularly at that position. When he spreads out like that, you get him the basketball low, posted up, he's as good as anybody in the nation. Baxter to the baseline. Nice shot by Jeff Baxter. Lays it in. 41-34. It's cut back to 7 with 6:20 double team. Good job by these 2 guards out there. Wilbur McLean has done a nice job of handling the Maryland defense, particularly when it's full court pressure. Shown a lot of cool tonight, haven't they? McLean looking inside, guarded by Baxter. Presley working baseline. His jumper. Harold Presley. He may have been the only one down there who knew that first shot was that far off. Just walked in and got the rebound. You know, he's done that several times tonight. He'll miss that first shot and is always there for his second with a foul. They got a little time yet, 3.5 minutes to go. They may want to put a little bit more pressure on Villanova. See if they can't get another turnover. Obviously, the Wildcats are not going to put anything toward the basket right now. Another reason a lot of people like to see the shot clock in the tournament as well as the regular season. Down to 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Villanova by 5. Rolly Massimino and his coaching staff up directing traffic. Wilbur and McLean are very good at this. They handle it well. You know, one of the things you got to do, Mike, is you got to work on this ball game right after the season because you've got to use it, and you don't have to use it during the season. You don't have an opportunity. So now when they get out of the season, out of their tournaments, they've got to spend some time practicing. Obviously, Villanova has. Lewis commits the personal foul. For the first time tonight, 65% shooter. And misses. Kept alive and gotten to Pinkney. Sometimes that long rebound can be your worst enemy. I'll tell you what, it's going to hurt Maryland because they could have gotten that ball. They had a chance to get it to 3. Now Villanova retains position. They run some more clock.
And here's Branch going for the steal. It's out of bounds.
Jensen realized that because Presley was standing wide open and he wouldn't throw him the ball. Now
Presley has it, and he gets rid of it in a hurry as Branch came over and tried to whack him. Approaching the minute-and-a-half mark, a 3-point lead for Villanova. Pretty soon Maryland will not be able to be as choosy, and they'll have to go after anyone that has the ball. Gary McLean handling.
Baxter all over him. Pretty good quickness there on the part of both players.
1 minute, 19 seconds to go. Villanova by 3. Pinckney guarded by Bias to Dwayne McLean.
Dangerous position down there. Well, that's a tough pass to pull it back out like that.
Jensen breaks for the hoop, and it's blocked by Derek Lewis. Oh, what a play. Lewis came out of nowhere.
Came across the lane and made a super block just as Jensen was making the move in.
3 to go. Presley is fouled by...
Last few minutes earlier. Now he goes to the line for another one.
Adkins comes out of the ball game. Speedy Jones checks back in. Presley with 6 points tonight. Big free throws with 1:02 to go. Pistol 1-and-1. Got it back in time. Pinckney got it back. That is twice. Presley has missed that shot so badly that the ball was kicked out far enough for Villanova to get it back.
And Pinckney went up and got it and was immediately fouled, and now he goes to the line to shoot free throws. You know, that's got to be playing on Presley's mind, though. He's missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s now, and he realizes if he gets back involved in the offense, they're going to come after him.
It's got to be on Maryland's mind, too. They want him to come a little closer to making him so the ball doesn't kick out so far. Pinckney hits the first. 44-40 with 59 seconds to go. Ed Pinckney, 5 out of 6 from the line tonight. A better percentage on the evening than his season, but he's always been a clutch player. It's this one, 5-point lead again. Maryland has got to hurry. Baxter to Branch, going to the baseline. He'd like to draw the foul as well. Gets the bucket. Maryland will call timeout again to stop the clock with 49 seconds to go. Presley taking a little bit extra time with 44 seconds to go. Got the first one.
So it really takes the pressure off of you when you know you got that second one coming.
7 points for Harold Presley, averages 12.4 ball game on the season. Second free throw, this is the big one. And he missed this one. Another long rebound, but Maryland gets it. 46-42. Gatlin to Branch. He'll try to penetrate. Is fouled by Jensen.
You're going to see a lot of fouls right now by Villanova because they've only got 3 team fouls. Raleigh Massimino doing a great coaching job. Right there has instructed his club, go out and foul. Don't make the intentional foul. Don't make it obvious, but continue to foul until you reach that 6th one.
And the Maryland players have to be aware of that so they could try to get a shot off at the time they're being fouled. Branch, and they'll reach in and foul McLean, and another couple of ticks of the clock go off. 34 seconds left.
Not much left he can do in this situation. He's just got to sit back and wait till they reach that limit on fouls.
34 seconds left. Villanova by 4. The inbounds pass to Branch. Will they foul him intentionally? They let it go this time. He hits the shot. Branch with his own rebound. Follow in the lane, and he's fouled like football. Jensen's free throw. And he missed it. Maryland alive with 18 seconds to go. Gatlin pushes it up to Branch. He'll try to penetrate if he can. 12 seconds to go. Long jumper, no good, and Pinckney has it. Over to McLean. Jensen will bring it back outside. 2 seconds, 1 second, and Villanova has advanced to the final of the NCAA Southeast Regional. They win it 46-43. A very happy Raleigh Massimino. Well, you can't, the Maryland people can't leave here saying they did not have their opportunities.
No, they really did have. They had the chance to see Raleigh Massimino walking off the floor right here. He's got to be a happy man. The Benches in an earlier defeat also when they lost by 3 points in College Park. Now they're in the finals of the Southeastern Regional, and who would have believed it just a couple of weeks ago?
The final score once again, 46 Villanova to 43 for Maryland. We'll be back in returns.
Dean Smith comes in with Hunter, trying to get a little quickness in that lineup.
Flat Doherty, and Presley stays right with him, but a foul is called.
Presley was right on the play. Good timing on his part. Dean Smith has now moved ahead of Adolph Rupp in total wins in NCAA tournament play.
Is he Italian too?
No, but I'll bet you he has never experienced a game like this in the NCAA tournament. He's just everything gone. Going in slow motion.
Villanova leading by 4. Jensen again. He is indeed the man of the day for Villanova.
Let's see if Kenny Smith recognizes that he can put the ball on the floor and try to get inside that zone.
Hunter gets to Doherty, and Pickney fronted him, took it right away.
I've never seen so many tentative passes. Fellas are telegraphing the ball with the ball above their head. Nobody looking for the shot. Nobody penetrating with the dribble. Villanova now starting to gain confidence with every possession down the floor. Villanova, a very good delay team. It turns out that they have to hang on to the ball some. They have all that experience.
Dwayne McClain picks up 2 more. It's an 8-point Villanova lead at the 9-minute mark in this game. Put in the corner and passed it back. Pinkney deflected the ball, and watch Jensen's maneuver here. Spots the man, Presley, for the easy basket. And right now, in the game, Carolina has turned it over 17 times. And more importantly, look at the points off turnover, Billy.
Well, it's been amazing, and that goes back to the tentative play of North Carolina. And then I want to go back to the play that ended the first half. With roughly 10 seconds to go, Kenny Smith has the ball in his possession. Instead of North Carolina having a chance to build their lead, Kenny Smith walked. Villanova got the 3-point play, and they've come out much more positive since that play.
Villanova shot 23% in the first half and 72% so far here in the second half. A complete turnaround.
Again, the pass going behind here. Nobody really looking to put up a shot. Every catch is almost an accidental catch. He's going to shoot 23% in the first half, and in the second half of a 10-point lead. You said you're crazy. North Carolina start to chase wildly. When you're playing against seniors and you chase wildly, somebody's going to get a layup. Don't be surprised to see Eddie Pinkney dunk one here shortly.
Gary McClain came in and turned it over. He traveled.
Caught in a double team.
Dean wanted over and back on Presley.
Realizing Wally Maximino is going to go to a complete stall here unless he gets a layup. He's a very small team. Only Warren Martin out there with any size.
Smith told the Tar Heels to go for the ball. So he has not ordered them to put Villanova on the foul line yet.
They got to go Villanova wisely going and keeping this ball out here instead of getting that penetration as happened to McClain the last time. Team foul situation will start to go.
5 team fouls on Villanova and 5 on North Carolina. So each school with a foul to give. We've got 4:19 to go.
Warren Martin just not getting back. Oh, my Jensen!
his first Final Four, but the school has been there before. Back in 1971, Howard Porter took them all the way to the finals before they lost to UCLA. That was the last Bruin team, of course, the next year to repeat as champions. Georgetown going after that. Curtis Hunter has hit the field goal, and the timeout is called by Dean Smith. 3 minutes and 7 seconds.
There are a number of occasions in the NCAA record books where teams and players that got there just don't show up. The shaving scandals had to do with some, and of course that situation with Porter. 5 seconds.
Jensen called a timeout, Billy, before the 5-second count. He alertly saw that they were about to reach 5, and Dean Smith not pleased with the performance of the officials in Birmingham.
His throat didn't hurt. Doesn't want to get up there and have to stand around and wait. When the official gets the ball in his hands, he's going to go up and take his position on the line. Smart move.
The winner of this game next Saturday afternoon draws Dana Kirk and Memphis State. Georgetown awaiting the winner of the St. John's, North Carolina State game later today.
McClain backed off that line. He talks to himself in the lobby. I saw him today, and I drew a charge on him. He was talking to himself. He was spaced out completely to the point that he was concentrating so much in the game, I was able to go up and jump in front of him, and he didn't even realize it.
.244, Villanova with a 9-point lead. Turn it over again. Villanova's defense, which has triggered the second half performance. McClain a little tentative on getting rid of the ball. Finally gets it over to Gary.
Gary McClain could have gone down to Presley and back to Pinckney to the stuff, but he wisely realized the clock is the opponent right here.
They'll put Dwayne McClain on the line.
Now, he's been to the line 335 times this year. Only a 57% free throw share. It's amazing, you could imagine what kind of stats he could have if he was a good.
Imagine now what's going through his mind. He's never been to the Final Four. He leads North Carolina by 9 points. This team came into the Southeast region seeded number 8. They've had to do this the hard way. They beat Dayton in Dayton. Then they drew Michigan, an up-seeded team, and they upset them last Sunday. Then they came down here and played Maryland, which was seeded higher. Now they've got the second seed in the Southeast. It's been a long, tough road for Massimino and Villanova.
Well, they always say there's a Cinderella. I want to apologize to McClain. I had him down there with his field goal shooting percentage instead of his free throw, shooting at 75% in Philadelphia. The distance, and he wants to win. Forget about the score.
They need to put somebody on the line quickly. They let Presley through for the slam. At 1:20 coming up now. 55-42. Smith goes all the way. This is yanked down by Pinckney. It's been that kind of an afternoon for North Carolina.
You think Dean Smith will burn the film of this game? If you're Raleigh Massimino, you put it in the Hall of Fame. If you're Dean Smith, you can't believe it.
He's a great guy, and you couldn't be happier. And at the same time, your heart goes out for these folks. Played as hard as they did this year.
In the case of,
got so close.
In the case of most of them, of course, they'll be back. And that man right there, Steve Hale. And you consider this team lost Perkins, congratulations. Michael Jordan, Rose, and Steve Hale, the injury, as was pointed out at the top of the show. Probably accomplished an awful lot just getting here. Dwight Wilbur didn't even get in the second half. And his replacement, Jensen, was really the story of the game.
So the main line's going to Kentucky.
Big news up in Kentucky, of course. Joe Hall announcing his resignation. And I'm going to say that Gene Katie's going to get that job at Kentucky.
Smith coming through. That certainly is the name that has popped to the forefront here lately. The Purdue head coach, Gene Katie, now being rumored to be in line to succeed Joe Hall in Kentucky. It'll be a fine choice if it comes up that way. Look at that Villanova bench.
Jensen's wanting to celebrate. This game is over, and Dean Smith says no sense fouling. Let the clock run down. It serves no purpose. Great to see that bench in behind him. It's worth the seeing Raleigh Massimino just go these last 20 seconds.
What a moment for this school and this team and this coach. One of the class teams, and all year they've been playing number 1 and number 2, it seems like. Georgetown, St. John's, Michigan.
They've got, 5 of their losses against those two clubs.
And now the dream is theirs. Raleigh Massimino is going to the Final Four. Philadelphia knows so well. Jake Nevin. There's a tear in his eye. The longtime trainer for Villanova, who sits right behind the bench. And this is the happiest moment for him and the rest of his Villanova crew.
Season was dedicated to Jake. Raleigh, of course, has his son on the team and one son of his manager. Long way from Hillside, where he started out coaching, up to Lexington, Massachusetts, where he was a high school coach. He worked all the way from the 5th on up.
Right now, let's go to New York and Dick Stockton, and we'll be back with the winners.
Top-seed team in the Southeast, and now they've beaten North Carolina, the second-seeded team, 56-44 in a resounding surprise. And that makes for a vengeance of 3 years ago when North Carolina beat Villanova and went to the Final Four and won the national championship, and how Raleigh Massimino must feel right now. And the Chevy MVP in the Southeast Region Final, Harold Jensen of Villanova and Brad Doherty of North Carolina. Of course, Bill Raftery has been watching the game along with all of us. A tremendous turnabout from the first half.
Maybe that three-point play at the end of the first half sort of catapulted them into the basketball game, gave them the confidence, and Carolina had a chance to put them away in the first half and didn't, and paid for it.
It was only a 5-point deficit. Villanova's defense, that spelled the difference, and they finally found the range in the second half.
They wouldn't let the ball inside, of course, and made them cross-court passes in the second half. Good anticipation, reading the passing lanes, outstanding. They're tough defensively. They had the pace under control. It was a great win. Of course, you saw Raleigh a little bit excited.
You know, in that battle between the Atlantic Coast Conference and the Big East, right now the scoreboard reads 4-1 in favor of the Big East, with still another game to go.
Well, it's up to Luke Honaseka, I guess, to help the Big East get them all in. But I think the competitiveness of the league this year helped these clubs. Of course, they've lost to one another down the road, but the final tournament was one which they get so much emotion, so much involvement. It's very difficult on the team.
In all fairness to North Carolina, they had a terrific year in what was listed as a rebuilding year, but Dean Smith really didn't have that one super player that he's always counted on in the past.
No, and I think he should have been the coach of the year. It was not a good team. He got everything out of his club. Very disappointing performance by them today.
All right, so the final score is 56-44, and we'll be back to hear from the victorious Philadelphians, the Villanova Wildcats, when we come back to the road to the Final Four after this. Brent Musburger. Brent?
All right, Dick, thank you. And here's the man who's going to Lexington. Raleigh, congratulations. How do you feel?
Oh, I just feel great. I thank my mother, my brother, everybody. So great.
It was worth it. We want to show you your reaction. If you can catch a quick glimpse of a monitor here. Now Raleigh Massimino wound down the last few seconds in celebration.
Yeah. And there's your boy, Raleigh. You know, we talk about Lexington. Lexington brings back some memories. You were in high school in Lexington, not the same way. After that first half, you had to think maybe you were going back to Lexington, Mass.
Yes, right. There's no question about it. I really thought that's where we were going to go, but these kids have played so great all year. I'm really, really proud of them. They were just terrific. Just terrific. What can I tell you?
Raleigh, what did you say to them at half? I mean, the first half was such a bad performance.
ever yelled at any of my teams when we got to the tournament, but halftime today, I didn't even meet with my assistants. I went right into the locker room, and we had a little seance. I just went right after them. And they came out, and they just did a great, great job. I mean, They're athletes, and I love them. That's the first time I've ever been there. Say there's them.
Billy, you've got some of the stuff right next
I'll
to
tell you what. These are the three seniors right here, okay? So they deserve a lot of credit. But guys, step aside, because this man, in my opinion, Harold, super job out there today. It seemed like there were 10 guys on the court today that nobody really felt like they could do something positive until you came in the game, and you could just see it on your face, your attitude, the positive pass, shot, and catch. It turned it around. What gave you the confidence to get things rolling? Because you got all the vets behind you.
Well, I think that's one big reason for it. With these three guys backing me up, I hadn't been shooting the ball that well during the tournament for the whole season. And I was just looking to get open and hit the open spot. And if it was there, I was going to put the ball up. Unfortunately, it was going.
You did a super job out there, and Dwayne, Gary, and Eddie, would you get a little cut on the lip there? Congratulations. I know how hard you've worked for this.
Definitely. That's all part of it. In the beginning of the season, we woke up 6 o'clock in the morning, and it just goes to show what hard work can do.
You went up on that one dunk. Now, I'm probably going to catch heck from everybody in your family. Now, wait a minute. Here's what I said. Now, you tell me if I'm truth or not. I said that I thought you were embarrassed for missing that shot, and you wanted to stay on that floor so you didn't have Raleigh come out after.
Never embarrassed.
Wait a minute. No way you were hurt there, because I saw you run real good after that.
Hey, when you're competing to go to the Final Four, you come back as hard as you can.
I know. I'm just pulling your leg over there. Gary, super job out there handling the ball today, the conscientious effort, running this ball club the way that you did. Out of sight job.
That's what it's all about. And this was one on our goal cards in the beginning of the year, and it's a dream come true. And it's a tribute to our whole program, the Villanova program. And I like to say thank you to everybody. And I love you, Mom.
Yeah.
All right. Mom, hello.
Congratulations.
Rolling out. Looking ahead, of course, to Memphis State. Dana Kirk was so very confident yesterday before the Oklahoma game. He said the winner of this game is going to be playing for the championship.
Well, he might have another thought coming. He still has to play us. We're playing real well now. We're playing great defense, and when you can hold a team like Dean has down to what we did, I think we're a pretty good defensive basketball team.
Well, I think the best thing you did was not give a lot of easy baskets to Kenny Smith. What were you concentrating on? How'd you keep him away from the basket?
We try to really be it in, Brent, quite often with the two-wing people, and we just try to match up to the best of our abilities. We had a special out there, but, it's just hard work, and what it is, and if you do the things and execute your zone slides the right way, and come with a little bit of man-to-man once in a while.
Raleigh, I didn't want to see you get behind too far to have to see that man-to-man. You won't see it much.
No, we played it 3 times.
Raleigh, congratulations. Right now, let's go back to New York and Dick Stockton.
Thank you very much. And, of course, Bill, Villanova, the lowest-seeded team left, advances. And not only did they have to beat Michigan and North Carolina, but they had Maryland and Dayton on the road, too. They've really had a tough fight there, but it's guys like Jensen, who, by the way, scored 10 points. Harold Presley was the leading scorer with 15.
Well, Jensen struggled last year. This year he's got confidence. He's coming in key situations and making the shot. But one thing about the Villanova family, they're close-knit, and Rollie relies on that. He reaches for things from his players, and they usually respond.
In a Final Four matchup with Memphis State, they have quickness, and Memphis State has been hot and cold a little bit.
Well, the only problem would be the size, I think, but they're so confusing to play against. Rollie mentioned the changing defenses. They're perplexing.
And North Carolina had size in their own right today, but Villanova prevails, and they're going to Lexington. And we'll continue.
In the land are trained to run for the roses and other honors. Then, once their racing days are over, the great ones like Secretariat return to their old Kentucky homes to breed the next generation of champions. Thus, it's only fitting that the best thoroughbreds from another sport are gathered here this weekend for the great match race in college basketball. The Secretariat in this four-horse. Redmond broke fast out of the starting gate and held on to upset the Hoyas. If they can jump off to another big early lead, St. John's can win again at the wire. The third entry from the Big East Conference, Villanova, is this year's dark horse. Raleigh Massimino's Wildcats prevailed in the Southeast Regional with a deliberate pace and a fast finish. The upset victories that got them here came on second-half bursts down the stretch. Finally, there's the Midwest champion Memphis State team, the only non-Big East club to reach the Final Four. They are big and they are talented, and they know how to pull off the close ones at the buzzer. And another photo finish here can put them in the winner's circle. So there's the field. All week long, the tension has been mounting on the backstretch. Now, post time is just minutes away. Step inside the Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. You're about to enjoy basketball's greatest show, the Final Four. Game 1, Memphis State against Villanova, followed then by the two heavyweights, Georgetown and St. John. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brad Musburger. Welcome to the Final Four in Lexington, Kentucky. You know, met in the NCAA Tournament. Villanova won that round, but there were two freshmen on the floor that day who are seniors here this afternoon. And they are the team leaders, Billy Packer, Keith Lee of Memphis State. What a career he has had.
Well, he has. He's been the winningest player around in the history of Memphis State. So many people, Brent, like to talk about the things that Keith Lee can't do. He is not quick of foot, but he can catch the ball beautifully. He's an excellent passer, great player on the inside, and he knows this game very well. Billy Pinckney is a fellow that's listed at about 6'9", but he plays a lot taller. Extremely quick. Matter of fact, he's probably the quickest interior player in the country, an All-American caliber. With
one of our semifinal doubleheader, Memphis State against Villanova.
Gentlemen, and welcome to Rupp Arena for today's NCAA National Semifinal game between the Villanova Wildcats and the Memphis State Tigers. Now, let's meet the starting lineups. For Villanova at forward, a 6'7" junior from Mystic, Connecticut, number 21, Harold Presley. For Memphis State at forward, a 6'10" senior from West Memphis, Arkansas, number 24, Keith Lee. For Villanova at forward, a 6'6" senior from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 33, Dwayne McClain. For Memphis State at forward, a 6'7" junior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 43, Baskerville Holmes. For Villanova at center, a 6'10" senior from the Bronx, New York, number 54, Ed Pinckney. For Memphis State at center, a 7-foot sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, number 50, William Bedford. For Villanova at a guard, a 6'2" junior from Patterson, New Jersey, number 4, White Rover. For Memphis State at a guard, a 5'10" junior from Memphis, Tennessee, number 10, Andre Turner. For Villanova at a guard, a 6-foot senior from Hempstead, New York, number 22, Gary McClain. And for Memphis State at a guard, a 6'5" freshman from Memphis, Tennessee, number 30, Vincent Askew. And introducing the head coaches. For Villanova, Rolly Massimino. For Memphis State, Dana Kirk.
So it's coming up, Memphis State and Villanova, the first of our national doubleheader. We are back and set to go. Villanova. And you can see how Memphis State traveled here to get to Lexington. They had some buzzer games, beating UAB in overtime and Boston College. Villanova, on the other hand, was the 8th seed in the Southeast region. They upset the top seed Michigan and knocked off the 2nd seed North Carolina last Sunday. And here they are squaring off for a berth in Monday night's championship game against the winner of our second game, Georgetown and St. John.
defensive tap for Villanova, and they get it.
Now let's see if Rolly Massimino does sit on it for a time and try to bring them out of their zone. Memphis State likes to sit in his zone.
They're playing man-to-man, Brent.
Out right in the man. They missed their first shot, taken off by Keith Lee.
Now here we have, that's a surprising switch. Dana Kirk may have anticipated Villanova trying to hold the ball, so he starts out in the man-to-man. Double team by Villanova.
And on the steal, it was Harold Presley.
Villanova does as good a job trapping with the size team they have as anybody in the country. Keith Lee on Presley. Now let's see if Presley tries to take advantage of him. Without a clock, Villanova, a tough team to play because they're very patient and have experienced guards.
Presley comes out high, puts it down against Lee.
Great job by Bedford.
Bedford sealed it up inside magnificently, jumping over to help out.
He really did a great job there, Brent. And Bedford, as everybody knows, is one of the most talented young big men in the country. And that time, Presley went right by Keith Lee.
Memphis State opening the game in a man-to-man defense.
Better job by Lee. He stayed down on his feet that time. Realizing Presley's going to use the pump fake. Good man-to-man defense now by Memphis State, but Villanova will be patient.
Pinckney. Memphis State, here's their leader, Andre Turner.
Bad shot. Turner really got it.
Turner picks up Gary McLean.
McLean's a man that's going to penetrate, but probably not try to score. So a good job by Turner, just to try to keep him under control.
Presley has it knocked loose by Lee. Now Turner, but Presley hustles back. McLean bounces in. Wayne McLean scores.
Great pass by Eddie Pinckney. Good drop off and hustle by Presley because he was out quick by Turner but still got to the ball. See this sequence, a good bounce pass inside. Eddie Pinckney realizes he's got a man open, dumps it inside. Great job. But for Raleigh Massimino, you want to see this man, Dwayne McLean, get off the snide early.
First foul on Askew.
One of the most unusual looking shots in college basketball. Has stymied an opponent's attempt to get off the last shot. Remember, of course, the North Carolina game, McLean got the three-point play at the end of the half.
Time has expired here in the first half. Villanova and Memphis State head for the locker room. Tied at 23. Let's go up
Closer than this, and of course Memphis State has had a domination on the boards, but I think when Villanova's Massimino brought in Mark Plansky and Harold Jensen gave the Wildcats a big boost, and I think Villanova has to be awfully happy. The tempo is in their favor. They're getting out rebounded, but they're in a 23-23 game. And coming up, we're going to have Vic Bubis, who's the
Villanova really picking up the confidence. You can see it in their eyes. Askew still reluctant to take the jump shot on the wing.
Turner has it knocked away by Gary McLean, who's got control.
Wally Massimino will not let Memphis State play the zone the rest of the way. He's going to spread them out and make them really work.
Dwayne McLean, short, but Presley rebounding, and another big play by Harold Presley. Can you imagine Memphis State going up against somebody named Presley?
And you can see right now, Villanova going to spread that man-to-man out. Dana Kirk will not be able to play a zone, and Villanova can play the spread game extremely well.
Into Pinckney. Uses the shoulder. Becton rebound.
Raleigh wanted that fifth foul so badly. And with this much time in the game and a 6-point lead, it's worthwhile going at Keith Lee a time or two.
Jensen helping to seal off Lee.
And again, Askew has got to take the shot.
They get it to Keith. Turn around, Pinckney is there. The foul is called on Memphis State. And that is number 5 on Keith Lee.
Dana Kirk has stated so many times that he thinks that a rule ought to be changed in basketball that a player cannot foul out. It's the only sport that takes place this way, and there's Lee going up, loses possession of the ball, comes down and comes over the back, kind of a touch foul, but Presley had position. And that's it for Keith Lee, unless his teammates can pull him out. He has to come back with Bedford, who's got 4 fouls on him. He doesn't want to walk off the court. He's staying right out there, but he's off. I don't know what the holdup is. You have to get a man in. He's trying to decide between Daly and Bedford. It's got to be Bedford. Disappointed young man right there, Keith Lee.
Mistake. And sometimes relaxes, knowing that the big man is off the floor, and they think it's all over.
Wayne McClain has thrown up the darts today. That unusual looking shot, but he has been very positive throughout this game. Villanova's been amazing in the second half in the NCAA tournament. They've played very mediocre first half, but they've been a great second half team. That's about the worst rotation a shooter could possibly have on a ball, but they go in.
Bedford. Pinkney sealed off that side. Grab the rebound. Villanova continues its run. It is now 13-2 over the last 6 minutes.
And you see Villanova changing their offensive strategy now, spreading the game out without a pivot man. And then Pinkney will slide down inside.
Villanova again being very patient. The team in this tournament that has taken the best advantage of not having a shot clock is Villanova.
Pinkney wants that ball on Bedford inside to pick up the 5th. Eddie is so quick.
Gary McClain. Beckton. Hands to Turner. Memphis State can pull to within 2. I have seen Memphis State on several occasions this year play better with Keith Lee on the bench. It seems to unclog the middle a little bit, especially for Bedford. He's got room to maneuver inside.
And I think this move with Askew on the top makes them a lot tougher to defense. He's got good size up there. Just a small adjustment, but one that helps their team.
Bedford. Beckton rebounding, and the foul is called on Villanova. It'll be on Presley as he broke out of there over the back, his 3rd. Turner goes down trying to draw the charge. No whistle. 4.5 minutes to go here in Lexington.
Turner went down and hurt himself.
Turner injured a leg. Also has a shoelace untied. But he may have injured either a knee or
His score, 19-6.
Both of these teams got to this Final Four by winning tight ball games, and they're going to get a chance to get down to the wire in another one. Now the clock becomes the opponent again, and for Memphis State, they've got to get a shot up here.
Beckton will take it. Goes to the glass, and they're back to within 2 at the 140 mark.
And the 2-2-1 full court pressure again. Turner looking.
Fouled by Askew.
Presley goes to the line, a 64% free throw shooter. We've mentioned this a time or two in the season. He's very unusual on the foul line. He either drills them perfectly or throws up the craziest looking air balls you'll ever see. He goes to the line with a lot of pressure right now. Highly recruited out of New England. Considered one of the top 25 prospects in the country. You can see under a 60% free throw shooter in the last 4 minutes. is Villanova players rebound very well when he goes to the line on missed free throws, because his fouls that he missed usually bounce way back out.
That time, and Bedford hands it to Turner. Memphis State down by 3.
Askew will not take the jump shot, and is putting so much pressure on his teammates.
Gets it into Bedford. It is a 1-point game at the 1:17 mark. Timeout. Dana Kirk will bring his team over. Seconds of regulation, and move the foul, Billy.
Okay, here are the percentages on the line. Not much difficulty making a choice, particularly if you've scouted Villanova over the course of the year. And we showed that Presley drops down even below the 60% in the last 4 minutes of the game. So if he touches the ball, you've got to go after it. Memphis State, not as good a free throw shooting team. Askew, who has proven today that he doesn't want to shoot, is the guy you'd go after. I'm so surprised. Askew had the good rhythm at the end of the regular season looking for his jump shot, particularly in the Louisville game, which was a big game for them to clinch the Metro regular season championship. But today he just hasn't looked for his shot. On this press, look for Andre Turner to try to sneak under people and pick off a pass. He's very deceptive.
He was lurking out here in center field, just waiting for an opportunity. Now he'll pick up Gary McLean.
Villanova in the four corners. And remember what happened the last time. Dwayne McLean was able to beat Holmes with a one-on-one dribble. And that's all for Holmes. Big foul there. They didn't want that.
Baskerville Holmes joins Keith Lee on the Memphis State bench.
Now Dana Kirk looks down his bench, and he can't go back with big people. He's got to go back with somebody that's got some quickness. You look down that team, I think we're going to see Wilfong in the ball game now. Dana has to realize that that's 5. He's got Wilfong to call on. He could go with McCoy, but I think we'll see Wilfong. And it's funny, you see those players saying, is it going to be me? Some kids want to come off the bench right now. Now, Wilfong has the great genes. Both his dad and his uncle were outstanding players at Memphis State. I'd go for the genes. Nope, it's not going to be.
It's Dwight Boyd.
Yep. No, it is.
Ah, wait a minute. He's changed his mind.
Okay, there we go.
Genes.
One for the genes, right? Well, you get the gut feeling, you know, hey, we're in Kentucky, right? You go by bloodlines. This kid's family have been winners at Memphis State, and he gets picked to come in the game. He'll have to slap a little color in his face and be in great shape.
But none any bigger than this one about to be put up by Dwayne McLean. A 2-point Villanova lead.
Boy, McLean has given some kind of senior performance today. He's been solid in every aspect of the game. No streaks at all, except hot streaks.
54 seconds for Memphis State.
Get one up in the next 10 seconds here. Bedford, fine catch.
Turner realizes it penetrated. Wouldn't stay in. Pinckney. And now Villanova is just 35 seconds away from a shot at a national championship.
Got a foul. They have got the foul. They have got the foul because they need 2 possessions. They've got the foul.
And finally Turner fouls Gary McLean.
The problem there for Memphis State was, and the reason they had the foul quickly, and that's a little bit early to celebrate, but they needed 2 possessions, Brent, down 3 points. if we had two teams in the same conference in the final game.
Villanova when you refer to them as Cinderella, but they are certainly the long shots of this NCAA Tournament championship. They were the 8th seeded team in their region. They upset Michigan. They knocked out North Carolina. And now they're within 21 seconds of playing for the national championship Monday night against either St. John's or Georgetown.
And remember, the last time that we saw them against Georgetown, they had a comfortable lead at halftime on our game during regular season. Turner trying to penetrate. Raleigh Massimino ready for it.
Missing. Wilfong tapped back, and Villanova will play for the championship. Let the celebration begin in Philadelphia. The Wildcats have done it.
We still have 4 seconds to go. The officials are trying to get everybody organized out there. Fans coming out of the stands.
Villanova has defeated Memphis State 52-45, and last week Dana Kirk, the Memphis State coach, said the winner of the Oklahoma-Memphis State game will go right into the finals. And Rolly Massimino replied by saying, tell Dana he still has a game to play. And what a game the Villanova Wildcats play today to fence the difference once again. Villanova had that 8-point lead, and they let Memphis State get back in because they got a little over-aggressive and maybe a little cocky that they thought the game was won. But in the end, Dwayne McClain controlled things. Dean Smith and Joe Hall will be with us. We'll have interviews as well. We'll come back to Rupp Arena in Lexington in just a moment. Points. So the Villanova Wildcats, the giant killers who knocked off the likes of Michigan and North Carolina, now have beaten Memphis State, and they're in the championship game. We'll play the winner of Georgetown and St. John's. And of course, I'll have Dean Smith and Joby Hall up here in a little while. But right now, let's go down to a very happy Villanova contingent in Brent Musburger. Brent?
Happy indeed, Dick. I don't know if they've run out of emotion yet, but Gary McClain and Dwayne McClain, congratulations. And one more time for you, Raleigh.
Yeah, one more time is right. We're really ecstatic. The kids played great defense. And what can I tell you? When they had their backs to the wall after being up 8, they came and tied it. They responded tremendously. This is a great group. They play great defense. Dwayne, all year long, people around the country, including ourselves here at CBS, been talking about you being a streak player. Today, you put on one of the most consistent performances I've seen in a semifinal game in every phase of the game. Being a senior, was this something very, very special to you?
Definitely. We definitely want the season to end, so this is a great time for us to start playing consistently.
You made that move when you went 4 corners. That's a time when, of course, you're looking for only the special play, but did you feel you had the move on the sideline to take basketball home?
Definitely. They were denying my teammates out front, so they left the baseline wide open, so I just took it.
We're going to see you on a highlight here. Let you be a little TV announcer for a second. This may be the play I was talking about.
Yeah, this is it. They were denying Gary and Al Jensen out front, and the baseline was wide open.
Raleigh, you talked about that lead you had, and it's one of those tough places to be as a coach. You got the nice lead, you got the star player on the bench and out of the ball game. Do you go delay? Do you try to play your half court? It was really a tough choice for you.
We played for a while. Then with 5-something to go, we went delayed because they would deny us the ball. So then, all of a sudden, we couldn't get anything there. I said, let's go back to our normal stuff. I didn't want to hold the ball at all. I just wanted us to execute what we were best at. And we got a little tentative only because, you're in the semifinals of the tournament. It makes it very, very difficult. But they responded.
Gary, how about the duel with Andre Turner? That was very spirited between you two.
Hey, he is a great young player. I mean, he's a classy player. He plays hard all 40 minutes of the game. You have to give him and his Memphis State Tigers all the credit.
Tell me who you'd rather play, St. John's and Chris Mullen, Georgetown and Michael Jackson.
Hey, I don't care. I just want to play, and I'm so happy that we are here. That's all. I'm elated.
Raleigh, how about you? Which one you want?
I don't care. It makes no difference. They're both great basketball teams. They're both my friends. I think we probably should play Thompson because we played St. John's 3 times. Let's play John 3 times. See what happens. Maybe we get a better shot.
All right. Congratulations to Rolly Massimino and the Wildcats of Villanova. Let's go upstairs to Dick Stockton. Dick.
Thank you very much, Brent. And, of course, up here we have Joby Hall, who, of course, is watching this Final Four, having retired as a coach at University of Kentucky. And Dean Smith has been to the Final Four more than any active coach. Joe, I'm going to show you one highlight first, and that's going to be Ed Pinckney, who really was a guy that may have turned things around for Villanova. He forced Keith Lee into his 3rd personal foul right here and gave Villanova the lead.
Well, no question that was a key, Dick. And Lee foul-prone, which was a flaw in Memphis State's armor, and it certainly cost them today. But a beautiful play by Pinckney. A good fake and a good reverse layup.
His quickness just seems to be something that neither Bedford or Lee could handle inside.
Well, there's no question that he has that ability to outmaneuver a big man, and he's very quick. He has that explosive jumping ability. He's just a fine player.
Dean, you know full well what it's like when Villanova has the lead and they want to play that tempo game. We're going to take a look now how Villanova broke a full court press attempt by Memphis State and Harold Presley on a very impressive reverse layup.
I thought it was outstanding, and Presley's a very good ball handler. Watch him here go underneath and then showing his athletic skill. And that was an important basket, but this whole game boiled down to so many important things. It's funny, I thought Rolly did a great job keeping the ball out, of Bedford's hands and out of Keith Lee's hands, and that was very important.
No surprise what Villanova has done here, I'm sure, for you.
They're a veteran team. Experience helps, and they have 3 seniors and 2 juniors, and certainly deserve to be here and deserve to win today because they did it defensively.
Okay, Dean and Joe, please stay here because we want to get your thoughts on the upcoming game between St. John's and Georgetown, and we'll take a look and preview that ball game when we return to Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky, after this word from your local station.
A butcher with a badge. Now, update.
Time runs out on the Memphis State Tigers as Villanova's Wildcats beat the Southerners 52-45. Villanova headed for a Monday night shootout with the defending national champions, the Hoyas of Georgetown. Good evening. Glad you're with us. How about those Cats? Villanova is victorious again.
And the Wildcats are making basketball history for Villanova. Joe Pellegrino is live right now in Lexington, Kentucky with a report on the big game. Joe?
Well, John and Chris, right here, we're in the interview area here at Rupp Arena. Of course, everybody's long gone. I think probably the players are going to be bedded down pretty soon. They've still got a lot of work ahead of them for Monday night. But I'll tell you what, Philadelphia has all of a sudden come to Lexington, a very definite Philadelphia and Villanova flavor. And today was probably one of the most important in Villanova fans' history. The biggest day in Villanova basketball history started with the mob scenes in the hotels and outside the arena several hours before game time. The ticket seekers were there. You going to get in today?
I have no question in my mind I'm going to get in.
That means you're going to what, pay the scalper's fee or what?
That means I'm going to pay what that ticket's worth at about 10 minutes to 4, which ain't a hell of a lot.
But it was a Villanova versus Memphis State.
If we can control Lee, if we can control Bedford, slow the game down, darn good shot.
We're going to win. Keith Lee's going to be on the bench most of the game.
Villanova all the way. Memphis State won't make it.
You guys worried at all about Villanova? It's going to be a shoe-in.
No, we're not worried at all. We're ready to go all the way to the final.
It should be a good game, but we're going to show the Big East who really plays basketball in this country.
After the nail-biting 52-45 Villanova win, there was a huge Villanova reception in the Rupp Exhibition Center.
I knew they were going to pull it out. I knew Hal Jensen was going to come off the bench.
Confidence, huh?
Everyone.
Why did they win today?
Defense.
I drove down here 13 hours, and I knew if I came down here they weren't going to lose.
13 was lucky, huh?
I would have killed them if they did.
How about you? Why did they win?
Because they are so awesome, and we love them so much.
And the losers were gracious.
I think we could have won. We just didn't have a good day.
We thought the officiating was lousy.
We didn't
play the kind of ball that we're capable of playing. That's what it matters. If we had played as good today as we played against Louisville, we could have won, I think.
By the way, that crowd of Villanova fans, one overzealous young man poured beer all over me. My jacket is still soaked, the hair and so forth, but I got even with him. I took his crayons away from it. We'll be back with more later on in sports.
Okay, thank you for that, Joe. Now, of course, much of our area is caught up tonight in Wildcat fever after watching the big game this afternoon right here on Channel 10. But nowhere was the excitement at a higher pitch than on our own main line. And that's where Casey Kaufman was after the big game with Villanova students.
They were dancing in the streets and piling on top of cars in front of the Villanova campus tonight as hundreds of Wildcat supporters were going wild, celebrating their team's victory in Kentucky. This was the scene throughout the Delaware Valley as Villanova fans stayed glued to the NCAA semifinals on Channel 10. From the Turtle Crossing Bar in Upper Darby to this student fraternity party on campus, the excitement was intense. Off campus at this bash, sponsored by the Villanova rugby team, students watched the final seconds of the game.
I love the game. Villanova is great. Yeah! Awesome. Party on!
It was terrific. It was really great. It's something that they definitely have been shooting for a long time. I'm a senior, and I've seen it. You know, they've just wanted it for 4 years at least.
I'm going to get very drunk.
Here at Kelly's, a local bar in Bryn Mawr, Villanova up outside the tavern. In the street, Lower Merion police tried to keep things under control as students cruised down Lancaster Avenue. So the party continues. The Final Four is now the Final Two, and Villanova supporters say they will be cheering the Wildcats on to victory Monday night when they play Georgetown in Kentucky. Casey Kaufman, Channel 10 News Update.
You know, certainly one of the happiest people of all tonight has to be Villanova head basketball coach Rollie Massimino, in charge for 13 years now. This is his first trip to the Final Four and certainly his first shot at the NCAA crown.
Yeah, one more time is right. We're really ecstatic. The kids played great defense. And what can I tell you? When they had their backs to the wall after being up 8, they came and tied it. They responded tremendously. This is a great group.
Rollie Massimino began his coaching career almost 30 years ago as a high school basketball coach. And now Villanova goes for the big one, shooting for #1 ranking in the NCAAs. The Wildcats now go up against the Hoyas of Georgetown, defending NCAA champs, right here, seen exclusively on Channel 10 Monday night. The game tips off at 9 o'clock.